Every single day, Facebook Marketplace reminds me why we need to bring back public shaming. You guys, welcome back to the opinion you didn't ask for. I'm Hannah, and let me just say, I am never amazed more with the audacity people have than when I get a Facebook Marketplace message, okay? Like, these people have no shame. They have no shame. I can't even begin to describe the amount of embarrassment I would feel if I sent even one of the hundreds of messages I've received from people with the lowball offers or, all of the things. Okay, it's truly mind-blowing. But you would think, there's no way she's that opinionated on this. No, I truly am. Okay, and things keep happening. I keep trying to let it go. I keep thinking okay, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. And then some ding-dong reminds me, nope, it is as bad as I think it is. These people are as classless as I remember, okay? This all came to a head last week. I got this Facebook message for an item I've had listed for forever, right? And we're packing up to move, so I've been trying to get rid of a lot of stuff. Now, some of you may be thinking, Hannah, I've never sold one thing on Facebook Marketplace. How do you have this many stories? Okay, well, listen. Facebook Marketplace is like a garage sale, but without having to actually socialize in person or put all my stuff out there for people to come look at and then walk away, okay? But it's this fun little way that I make money to turn around and buy more things, okay? I sell my kids old clothes that don't fit anymore to buy them clothes that do fit. It's just something I enjoy doing, right? It's like a little bargain shopping or little trading situation going on, because I will sell something for $15 and then I'll find a pair of shoes that I want to get for my daughter that are exactly $15. And I'm okay, girl math, okay? It's like the shoes were free. I got rid of something I don't use anymore. I got something that I needed. It all works out. Everyone wins, right? And sometimes it can be amazing, right? It's not all negative, but no one wants to really talk about the positives. I messaged them, gave them my offer, sent the Venmo, picked them up on the porch, all was well, right? There's no oomph in that, right? That is the most appealing to me. I wish every single transaction worked like that. Unfortunately for me, that is just not how things have gone. So I get this message from this lady, and she offers me $10 less than what it was listed for, which whatever. And it had been listed for so long that I was like, you know what? I don't even care at this point. I just want it out of my basement. I don't want to have to try to put that in a storage unit. It can't be stacked. It's going to be an awkward thing to try to store. So yes, I will take the money that they want to give and move on. And so she's like, okay, I can Venmo you. What's your address? I'll pick it up in the morning. Perfect. She Venmos me. I give her my address. Y'all, before she comes to pick it up, so the night before, she messages me at 9:30 and goes, hey, so my mom was actually going to buy my kids something similar. So if I could get a refund, that'd be great. The gasp I gusped, okay? I was livid. And some of you might be thinking, Hannah, it's not that big of a deal. Well, that's none of your business, okay? This is my business, and it is a big deal. And it's not even about the money, okay? It has nothing to do with the money. What do you mean you already paid, you have my address, and now you just want your money back because what? Read that message again, lady, and you sound nuts, okay? So I am ready to just be no. You can come pick it up and you can resell it. If you do not want it anymore, that is your choice, but that is not my responsibility anymore. I sold it. I did my part. But my husband, the nice man that he is, was she hasn't actually come. It's not like she came, picked it up, and then tried to bring it back, right? It's not it's not like that. He's like, you don't want to have to deal with it. So I look into who this lady is. The kids she's talking about, she owns a daycare, people. Okay, a daycare. It's not like she has 2 little kids at home that she bought this toy for, but her mom was going to buy it for them for their birthday party. No, that is not what this was. She owns a daycare. And I'm like, really, did that $20 put you out that bad? Have your mom just Venmo you $20 for what you had already paid me. And then I've heard of so many Venmo scams where people will send you money and then ask for it back, and then they file that, like, I don't even know. Okay, I don't actually know the whole scam. I just remember reading, like, if you get a random payment from someone and they ask for the money back, do not send it because you'll be out double the money because they're scamming people. So I'm like looking into like, why is she? And she sent me, the nerve of this woman, she sent me the request to pay her back. And she titled it refund on Venmo. And steam was coming out of my ears. I was so mad. And Taylor came up to me and he like put his hand on my shoulder and he's like, okay, take a breath, do whatever you need to do, but do not let this ruin your whole night. Because I was like, why are people so annoying? Like, in what world? Like, this isn't a grocery store. Okay, you didn't buy it, you still had the tags, you brought it back with the receipt. Like, this isn't, and some of you might be thinking this is not that big of a deal. Well, this has happened a lot, not this exact thing, but like things like this, like, it's just so frustrating that as people, like, that is not how the world works. Like, Venmo is more of like, I'm paying you ahead of time to hold it for me with the guarantee that I'm coming to get it. Like, people aren't like, I've never Venmoed someone ahead of time to pick up the next day and then been like, actually, I slept on it, changed my mind, I'd like my money back. I would expect someone to laugh in my face and just be like, no, you already have my address, you can pick them up and resell them. I would expect someone to say that to me if I was annoying enough to ever say that. By the way, I'm not. Never have I ever. I have a 5 stars across the board rating on Facebook Marketplace, okay? And that is something so random, but I have like over 50 reviews from people, okay? All 5 stars. People love me, okay? I'm the woman of the people when it comes to Facebook Marketplace for selling and buying. Like, I am a great seller and I'm a great buyer. Like, I will do whatever is necessary to make it work, kind of a thing, right? Like, not that it's my real job. Like, these ratings really don't, I'm not getting to heaven faster. Okay, I understand that. Like, I'm not going to win some Nobel Peace Prize. I am fully aware of this. But like, you like to feel like people like you or appreciate you or just like, yeah, she was really kind or like her pricing was fair. I don't know. Whatever. That's not the point of this. I just don't understand how people just don't think, I guess. Like, some people just don't have brains. That's where I'm at right now. Oh, by the way, yes, my husband, he didn't make me do it, but he was just like, she is not worth dealing with. Just give it back to her. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It truly isn't. And it's not. Like, that $20 is not making it or breaking it if we're, going to Cancun. Okay, it's just not. But it was I am a principles person, okay? And it's always, sometimes things will happen and he'll just be like, babe, it doesn't always have to be about the principle. I'm like, nah, it really does. Like, for me, I will be so petty because it's the principle of it. Like, why don't people understand that there are consequences? Like, you don't get to always just make whimsical decisions and then be like, can I get a redo? Can we rewind? Like, that's not how life works, people. So I give her money back, whatever. I block her on Venmo. I block her on Facebook. I've thought about leaving a bad review on her Google page for her daycare. Haven't gone that far. The day is still young, okay? However, for the first time ever, I left her a 1-star review and I wrote exactly why. I was like, she will Venmo you ahead of time, say she's coming to pick it up, and then she will ask for a refund because she, air quote, changed her mind. Like, I wouldn't sell to her. Never have I ever left someone a bad review because I really do try to feed into positivity. I have left so many 5-star reviews for people. If someone was so easy to work with or they were flexible on pickup or payment or whatever it is, like the price negotiating, great. If people have been kind, you better believe I will give them a 5-star review. I just do. And I don't care if they give me one back. I want people to know I appreciated them. That the way that they treated me was reciprocated or the way that they treated me was appreciated. And I saw them. I saw their kindness. So I've never done that before. But man, was I annoyed because never have I had someone be like, can I get a refund? Okay, that's actually not true. Wow, okay, we are really going to just deep dive into my trauma of Facebook Marketplace mishaps, okay? because they are not few and far between. They are way more than they should be. When we were living in Arizona, Tucson, if you know anything about Tucson, they call it the dirty T for a reason, okay? It's disgusting. People in Tucson, no offense to my in-laws who still live there, okay? I don't count you guys, but there are great people in Tucson. Not bashing on Tucson. I did not like Tucson. I did not like Arizona. That's a whole different topic. But this lady bought something from me. The town that we lived in was not a very common town. It was like a retirement community. So people would often message and be like, oh, where are you located? And then we would tell them what town we're in. And they're like, that's too far. Or like, can you meet us? I met a lot of people, okay, which was my time, my gas money, having to put my kids in their car seats to drive. But Taylor didn't usually love if I would drive to Tucson without him in the car with me, with the kids with me. Valid, you guys. How many cartel movies have you seen where they're driving through? We were not far from Nogales, okay? Like we were in that part of Arizona, okay, where they would mention towns that we had very much lived in or been in when there's all these like cartel shootings, okay? There is a reason he did not want me going by myself. So this one time I waited for him to get off work and we drive up to Tucson. It was like 25 minutes from where the meeting point was. And this lady buys this thing from me. It was listed in pictures and everything, what it was. She buys it, takes it into her car, gives me the cash. She drives away. Well, we were still in the parking lot for some reason. 10 minutes later, she comes back around, blocks my car from being able to even back out. And she's like, it doesn't have this one piece. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. She had apparently Googled what the item was, but when I had bought the item, it didn't have that piece at all. And it also wasn't a necessary piece, right? Like it didn't make or break the thing. And it actually didn't help anything at all. It was like this random little extra piece. And she's like, it doesn't have that. And I was like, well, you saw the pictures. Like I listed it exactly as what it was, right? Like there was no misinterpreting what it was. And she's like, well, I needed that piece. And I'm like, no, you actually don't. Like it's not necessary. And she persisted on how she needed it. And she wanted her money back. And I'm like, and now looking back, you guys, I would have been like, absolutely not. It is in your vehicle. I have the cash. You can go resell it if you don't like it or whatever. Why in the universe did I let her reload that back into my car and give her all her money back? And now also looking back, if I was going to do that, I would have kept money and been like, this is for my gas money that we drove to meet you and you wasted my time, right? Like people do not appreciate other people's time enough. It's criminal, okay? People should be charged on Facebook Marketplace for how much time they waste, okay? So that has actually happened one other time, and I wished I had handled it differently then, and Taylor was like, I could not believe that you let her have it, like, her money back, that you just, like, took the item back, and I'm like, I don't even know. I think I was so in shock by what was happening that I'm like, there is no way this is really happening, and I try so hard to be kind, you guys. I really do. I mean, I may have a real sassy personality, okay? I may have a lot of fight in me, but for the most part, I'm not walking around looking to pick fights with people every day. They sometimes find me, and I'm always ready, okay? Always. But I'm not looking for them. I'm not making posts asking for fights, okay? I'm just truly not. So it wasn't worth it. I think in my mind it wasn't worth it, which is actually funny because when Taylor and I first got married, we are newlyweds, like a week maybe. And we were moving from our townhome and moving to Arizona. So we're packing everything up. And I was listing stuff on Facebook Marketplace to sell. And I was selling this wedding gift we had been given that was not on my registry. Okay, I did not want this item. Yes, it was just a random gift. Okay, respect the registries, people. Anyway, this lady messages me. I think she even haggled the price. And I'm like, okay, whatever. We're moving. I just want to get rid of stuff, make money, whatever. Like we're newlyweds. A dollar is important, right? She's coming to pick it up. We are packing up to leave and move, right? Like I don't have time for this. And my mom was actually there helping us pack up. And this woman has the nerve, you guys, the nerve of people. I don't know why I'm so shocked. It's been going on for literally years, and I am still flabbergasted every time it happens. She walks up to my door and is there to pick it up. And so I have it in my hand, and she's like, so I forgot my money. Okay, well, Okay. Like, and I'm just standing there because I'm just like, I don't know what to do right now. Like, I am trying so hard to figure out what is the appropriate response to this, right? Like, this woman is wasting my time. What do you mean you drove all the way here without the money that you told me you had? I don't know, y'all. There are people I will never understand. And so she's like, I guess I can drive home and get it. And I was so fed up that I was like, here, just take it. Like, I just don't care. And the look, when I turned around, the look on Taylor and my mom's face was pure shock because they're just like, who is she? Like, just giving things away for free. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to protect my peace right now. This wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. And this is a lesson, I think, for a lot of things in life. Some things are just not worth the energy. I need to remind myself of this like 16 times a day because I am ready to die on every hill. That's actually a whole different episode. Taylor always is like, babe, can you pick your fights? And I'm like, oh, I do. I just pick them all. Okay. I get it. That is my personality. I am ready to fight every fight. But I am trying so hard. And throughout my life, I have tried to just be like, you know what? It'll come back to me in tenfold. Like, I'm not going to even stress about this because my peace, my time, my energy is worth way more than that. Like, that was not it, okay? That was just not worth it. And yeah, the list goes on, okay? I have had people message me for baby items, and they will ask, you hold your pearls, okay? They will ask for free. These people will message me. I have this thing listed, and they'll be like, listen, I've fallen into hard times. Okay, this makes me sound so rude, but you know what? Some people need to be called out. Some people need to hear this. Now, was I rude to this person? No. But if you're hearing this and you're like, well, I've asked people for things for free because no, okay, that just don't do that. That is not their problem, okay? It's one thing if someone offers it for free, okay? Or it's one thing if you message, and even this, like if you message someone and you're like, hey, I'm having a really hard financial time, like this has come on, is there any way you could go lower? Be ready for people to say no, okay? If you're asking for charity, you have to also be okay with people not wanting to give it, right? Like it wasn't listed for free, whoever is in need. Those posts, that is great. But if someone has listed something to sell, you messaging and almost giving this sob story of why they now need to feel guilty and give you this item. In what world is that their problem, okay? A lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine, okay? What if I have hard financial times? What if those people are struggling and they need to sell that item to help pay their bills, okay? Like in my husband's backpack group, oftentimes there will be people posting a ton of like their backpacks or pouches or all these things, and they'll just be like, I lost my job, or, you know, my wife has cancer. We just got the diagnosis. Like, things are going to cost a lot of money. We don't have good insurance. I'm selling all these bags so that we can help pay payments. And the amount of generosity and kindness that people give because they want to give, not because this guy was like, hey, I'm going through a hard time. I have all these backpacks. I'm planning to keep those, but I would love if you wanted to donate to my cause, right? Like, no, they're just like, hey, I'm selling these bags and I'm telling you why I'm selling them. So maybe it'll help people from lowballing him or understanding what he's going through. And my husband will read me stories and I will just sit and cry because nothing makes me cry faster than random kindness. Okay, when people do secret acts of kindness for people, when they give so generously, not just of money, but of time or of items or whatever it may be, I bawl like a baby because I just love, it's like Jesus in the real world, right? Like it's Christ-like things happening in the modern day of people being his hands and feet on this earth. Like they are serving as he would and giving as he would, right? Like it just makes me so emotional. And he will read me these stories of these men in his backpack group that will be like, hey, I just sent this much money to your PayPal, keep the backpack. Like they will buy the backpack from him, but tell him to keep it. Or they'll be like, sell it to someone else, like make double off of one bag. How kind, right? Like how generous, how amazing. Like there are such good people and there are such good causes, and that's incredible. There's also a lot of people who expect free handouts, and they always have, and they possibly always will. Like they are always the victim. Things are always happening to them, and they deserve for everyone to just give to them. Okay. I feel like there are two different things. Like there are people who are willing to sell everything that means a lot to them for something even more important. And then there are people who aren't even willing to go get a job because they don't feel like they should have to, because the world has let them down in some way or another, right? And I got this message from someone that was like, I am pregnant and this, whatever. I don't have to keep prefacing with, I'm not a bad person. But you know what? I'm really not. I am not the kind of person that wants to be taken advantage of. And throughout my life, I feel like people have taken advantage of my kindness or of my generosity, or they will exploit that I feel so deeply about things that they will like use that against me. And so I feel like I have grown almost this spiky spine where I'm just like, I'm not putting up with this anymore. Like I'm not going to continue to allow people to walk on me. Okay, that's where I'm at. So this message comes in and it's like, I am pregnant and I can't afford, and it was a baby item I had listed. I can't afford this. Would you consider just giving it to me for free? And I'm like, the item I was selling was a luxury item. It was not a necessity item. It was not like you need this when you're pregnant or else you will not survive, right? Like there's not a ton of those items anyway, actually. But why in the world is you being pregnant and wanting something? And I think she said something along the lines of like, I really want this. Okay, well, I want to be a gazillionaire. Things that probably aren't going to happen in this lifetime. Like, why do you feel the need to have the item? Because I wasn't given that item for free. I paid for it, right? I'm now done using it to sell, to make money, to buy another item for now my toddler or whatever it is that I have to buy. Like, I don't actually have to justify my purchases to anyone, right? Like if I paid for something and I'm now selling it, I guess you know what? You are allowed to ask for free. You are allowed to do that. I am also allowed to say no and not feel guilty and not feel bad about it. Like, I don't owe you anything. It's not even like we're friends. It's not even like I know you. But if I just gave away everything that I've been, and trust me, there have been multiple times people have asked for things for free. And I'm just like, I could never. That is just not in my, that's not in my DNA. That is not in who I am. To be like, can I please have this for free? Never have I ever asked someone to just give me something they paid for free without giving something in return. Like, okay, if you have this, what do you have to offer me? Nada. Moving on. Now, my husband, the most laid back man, the man who was like, just give her the money back, move on. It's not a big deal. It's just Facebook Marketplace. Don't let it ruin your day. Okay, this same man, he got a message one time for a bag he had listed. And the guy says, hi, I see that this bag is brand new. Just so you know, it's selling for the same price brand new on their website. And my husband, the most level-headed, calm, like, just, he is so chill, right? Like, he doesn't let people bother him, even things that should. Like, people will do things or say things, and I'm like, that should just rile you up. And he's like, yeah, I just don't care. And I'm like, okay, well, I care for the both of us then. Like, I'm ready to go fight them for you. And he's just never bothered. But for some reason, this message bothered him so bad that he responded. Normally he'll just be like, whatever, and ignore the person. He responded and said, actually, this colorway is sold out on their website. But if you want to buy a different color brand new, go ahead and go to their website. And then he blocks the guy, which he told me this and I was shooketh. I'm like, what do you mean you blocked him? Like, I found it so funny because I'm like, sir, there are people in your real life you should block. Or there are people in your real life that you should call out for poor behavior or disrespect or whatever it may be, that he just like lets it go because he's like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter, it doesn't faze me. And I'm all, this guy fazed you? Like, that bothered you so bad you blocked him? And he's like, yeah, because it's not even like he tried to make an offer or lowball me, which he has. He's had people lowball him crazy, which, I mean, trust me, so have I. But we don't have all the time in the world for me and my Facebook stories, okay? You should not be offering half. If they have something listed, you offering half is not a deal for them, okay? They will just ignore you. So he's like, yeah, I'm used to people lowballing or, you know, whatever it may be. But he's like, he didn't even make an offer. He just wanted to comment to tell me that it was priced the same as it is brand new on the website. And he's like, that's just so annoying. Like, behavior like that, like, guys like him are just, no one asked you. Like, no one, my favorite phrase, stay in your lane, sir. Okay, you need to mind your own business. If you see something, and this is for everything in life, you guys, not just Facebook Marketplace. If you see something that you don't agree with, moveth on, okay? You don't need to tell people why you don't agree with how they've priced it or why you don't think that it's worth what they think it's worth, okay? If you don't want the item, you're not planning to negotiate for the item, move on. No one needs you messaging being like, excuse me, do you know that this is not worth that? Well, maybe it is to them. Or you know what? Some people, they're just delulu and they think that they need to get... Nothing cracks me up more than when someone has something like gently used and they have it listed for the same price as what they bought it. I'm like, nope, that doesn't work. Like, it's now used. So, there's that. And I think a lot of it also comes back because I'm like, there is so much good. There's also so much bad and so much. And I am all for calling people out. So today I received a message on Facebook Marketplace and you guys are gonna be like, Hannah, there is no way this is real. Y'all, I have receipts. Okay, I have these messages saved. I just don't share them with people because I'm not trying to blast these people. But I get a message this morning from this lady that I sold some like baby clothes to a week ago. She messages me this morning and was like, hey, so one of the zippers broke. Can you please refund me? Okay, first off, some of you, okay, hold the story before you start jumping to conclusions. There's a reason I have 5-star ratings across the board. Okay, I have never, ever, ever sold something that is broken or damaged or stained unless it was like written on there, like play clothes, slightly stained, whatever. Like, I have never sold something broken. Okay, those zippers worked perfectly fine when I had them. Also, I met up with this lady, like we met up with her because she didn't want to drive all the way out to where we live right now. So I did her a favor and she had had the items for a week. Okay. Never have I bought something on Facebook Marketplace and not immediately checked the sizes, make sure that there were no stains or holes or, whatever it may be, cracks or whatever I bought. I make sure it is in the condition that I expected it to be in. I will check zippers or snaps or shoelaces or whatever it may be. And then I drive away and then I'll usually try it on my kids or try it on or, put it in the house and see where it fits. And there have been times I've bought things that do not fit in the house like I thought it would. I'm like, dang it, the dimensions aren't what I thought. Or like I buy my kids shoes or clothes and suddenly I'm like, they washed and dried these on high heat apparently because the sizes should have fit, but they're too small. Do you know whose fault that isn't? Theirs. They listed it. I bought it. It's like a personalized online yard sale, okay? You don't get to go back to the house after you bought the thing and knock and be like, excuse me, I'd like my money back because this didn't work for me after I bought it. Now listen, if she had messaged me that day and been like, hey, I'm so sorry, one of these zippers seems to be broken, or the next day, I get it. Pajamas, kids. I mean, you do put them in a lot and you think that you would try it out. You've had them for a week. In what world is that now my responsibility? Also, they were priced so cheap that if you're trying to haggle me over a few dollars, and some of you might be like, Hannah, it's a few dollars, what is the matter? Like, no. The point is, it's the principle of it. People have no shame. People have no shame in asking for their money back for things when they probably put their baby in it and the baby's like too big, or they probably yanked on the zipper or whatever it may be. Like, it probably had nothing to do with me and I did check them. Okay. Like they were a perfectly working condition when I sold them. So I'm like, in what world do you get your money back after a week of having the item and potentially you've used it a few times and then suddenly it got stuck and you yanked it and broke it? Like, and I don't know the case. I don't know what actually happened, but I'm like, have some pride. Like, have some pride in that because listen, I sold something once. Okay, literally, I could go on for another like 45 minutes of how many things I've sold. This is not the point of it. I sold something once. She offered me half. Okay, 50% off. She wanted a discount for this item. I truly did not care enough that I was like, sure, right? Like I say, sure, I think nothing of it. So the item was listed for 10. I sell it for 5. And I get a message from her. I was taking my daughter to dance. I wasn't home, so I set the item on my porch. Oh, she also didn't have Venmo. I trust nobody who doesn't have Venmo. If you don't have Venmo, I think you are a scammer, you are a bot, you are not a real person. Okay, that's where I'm at this point. If you don't have Venmo, I think something's wrong with you. Because everyone uses Venmo. We've used Venmo to pay rent before. Okay, like Venmo is very much around. It's been around for many, many a years. If you don't have Venmo, this is me telling you to go get Venmo, okay? That's my opinion. It's not even my opinion. That's just a fact at this point. So I'm like, yeah, you can Venmo me and I'll sit on my porch. And she's like, oh, I don't have Venmo. Immediately should have been a red flag and been like, okay, well, I'm not selling it to you then. I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to be patient with her. And so I'm just like, okay, leave the money under a rock. And I have this like big rock on our porch. So I was like, just leave the money under that and the item will be in a bag next to it. She's like, okay, thank you so much. So I am out and about taking my daughter to dance and I get this message and she's like, do you happen to have change? I think it was for a 20. Lady, you offered me $5 on a $10 item and now you're asking if I have change from a 20 to pay myself $5? Am I in a comedy? Like, am I being punked? Like, what do you mean? Oh my gosh. I'm like, it's not even worth it. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I just don't care. And so she's like, I only have $3. And once again, protect your peace. The item was already on the porch. I wasn't going to have Taylor go to the door. I wasn't going to, deal with this. And it's so funny because Nate Bargatze has this, if you don't know who he is, shameth on you. But you all know Nate Bargatze, okay? He's the funniest guy. He has this comedy special and he talks about how his wife sells things on Facebook Marketplace and the guy will come to pick something up and be like, okay, here's the $5. And he's like, really? Are we really going to risk our lives for like $5? Is that where we're at financially? Like, and I was laughing so hard because I felt like he was honestly making fun of me personally, clearly, through this episode. Clearly, he's making fun of me. And Taylor just looks at me and he's like, that's exactly how I feel. Like, our safety and the lives of our children and people having our address is not worth $5. And I'm like, I get it. Like, I understand that, but I'm also like, $5? What could I buy for the kids with $5? Okay, it's just the way, or like a bunch of $5 adds up to be more than $5, okay? It's how my girl math brain just works. So, that's where I'm at. I get home and I check the porch for those $3 whopping. And she had left a pile of coins. Okay, $3.78. My pride is worth more than $3.78. Okay, at that point, lady, you're just offending me. I don't need your 78 cents that was in quarters, nickels, dimes, and pennies. I didn't need it. You keep your 78 cents. You clearly need it more than I do. At that point, don't even leave the $3 either. Just take my items and leave me in peace, okay? I was like, and I've thought about that a lot. Like, my pride is worth way more than $3.78, okay? That's a low price for your pride, people, okay? So we're just not gonna let that be the thing, okay? We're not gonna let that be what brings me down. We're also not going to let people lowball us, okay? We're not going to waste our time on people who clearly have no good intentions or who clearly expect you to just give and give and give and give nothing in return, okay? We're just not going to do that. So I'm all about bringing shame back to people. And I haven't responded to the lady because Taylor's like, just ignore her. And I'm like, well, I'm about to probably get my first bad review, which like hurts my whole soul because I'm like, I've worked so hard to be such a kind, accommodating person who met up with her. But if I don't give her her money back, she is going to give me a bad review. If I tell her that she should have some shame, if I tell her that she needs to be called out and that this is not, a yard sale where you get to knock on the door later and be like, hi, can I have my money back? Like, this is not that situation. She's going to leave me a bad review. Either way, she's leaving me a bad review. So I'm like, unless I give her the money back, right? Like, unless I give in to what she wants. That's the only way I walk out of this unscathed. But like, why am I why am I in trouble for her actions? Like, why am I in trouble for something that is not my fault or none of my business, right? Like, I mean, you probably think, Hannah, it possibly is your business. No, it's really not, okay? It's just not. I just don't care anymore either. Like, I mentally am checked out. Like, I'm done. So there's that. So I do think we need to bring back some public shaming. I do think we need to bring back people being called out for their poor behavior or acting in ways that are not appropriate, right? Like, I am all for that. Also, have some dignity, have some self-respect. Don't be lowballing people for things. Don't be asking for refunds on things that don't allow refunds. Okay, maybe just be a good person and know that your pride is worth more than $3.78.